Hey, welcome. Came up a lot quicker than we thought. I don't have a video for you guys tonight, so what we're going to do is do a little bit of a live and talk a little bit about what's going on here in Eureka Springs over at Rogers, since I didn't get a video out today. It's really getting hot here. I'm all sweaty. We're up here on the back patio that they have here at the CatHouse, and I'm doing our live from. So hopefully it sounds okay. Let us know if you can hear us. Tam will be back in a minute. She's trying to get an extension cord because it ended up being the King phone is the only one that had really good service. I'm not using the microphone, so hopefully it sounds pretty good. We'll find out when we get a few people on. This should be our normal time that we would have a video come up. So hoping some folks come on tonight. There we go. So Jamie O says good audio. And Long Cowboy says, sounds good. Thank you. So Tam will be here in a few minutes. She went to go get me some sugar for my tea. CatHouse always has fresh brewed tea. And extension cord because our phone so we can charge it up. Ryan says it's good. Delbrett, are you here? Greg's here, so that sounds good too. Great. Right now it seems to be better that if we use the microphone on the phone versus the one that we plug in. So everybody says it sounds a little bit better. You can move Cam's phone away because it doesn't quiet completely down. And just plugs our earphones in. So I don't want it to get any backlash here. So I won't really start till we get going on here. There's Art Patine from the Palomino, Florida. Oh, Salty Badger's in the house. Tam's a good boss. Jamie O, yeah. And on the way in the morning, Ryan. Okay, sounds good. Tomorrow, Friday, we will be doing a meet and greet here from 2 to 3. We'll probably get here about noon or so to have lunch, kind of hang around. Probably get the top floor up here. To talk to Jeff. So whatever I need, he'll take care of me. So we got to talk to him, get that all arranged today. We just wanted to get in here because we went on a ride today over 250 miles in, we don't know where the hell we were at. Started off on the pig trail. We'll talk about it when Tam gets here. We got some startling news about this rally, which I can't already believe I'm going to say this. So we're going to have to wait for Tam to get here and hang around so you guys can hear all the excitement. No, Delbrett, you're not here this year. Sorry. I figured you were over here helping Eli, getting stuff going. And Rowan's in the house. And Tam's running around. She's getting me some sugar, trying to find an extension cord so we can plug this phone up. We can last more than about 20 minutes on it. It's already down to 44%. So it ain't going to last too awful long. We might be able to bring our phones back in. We'll have to see if it does die. So Lone Star, did they get the construction done down? No. That ain't the big news, but no. Every bridge is one lane. Got to wait for the stupid light. What a pain in the ass. We ended up going a different way back, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Hello, will be there in the area tomorrow. That sounds good. Lots of bikes here. A lot of bikes. Bikes have been here since we arrived on Monday. They need to make this a week-long rally. Saturday to Saturday. That's going to be my push. We're going to be working with the CatHouse and the Pig Trail Harley over there, and we're going to try to get this rally up to snuff. And we're going to make this bigger and better than anything around here. You know, because we talk about that. You know, what I always say this is my second best rally. For the things that we always say that's most important. One is good riding. 2 is the people that come to the rally and the people that are here at the rally. You know, people that own the businesses and things like that, how they treat us. So that's another one. And then the last one is having some good vendors. So over at Pig Trail Harley, he's got some really good vendors. You know what? The only people that I see that's really not there is JP Cycles. And they might be coming because it didn't sound like they were very happy with Ocean City. We'll talk a little bit about Ocean City, too, and what's going on there. I don't think a little boy died. Bad news is both of the girls that we've had on our Facebook pages, the one that had, I think, on the 79 that hit the guardrail, and also the one that got ran over at the Buffalo Chip, they have both passed away in the last week. So just want to say, you know, we want to pray for their families. Bad things. Neither thing should have ever happened. I don't really know much about the girl that went off the road. She just lost control or what happened. Animal, I don't know. We didn't really say much in the article. But the girl that got ran over at the Buffalo Chip by a motorcycle, by a drunk dumbass, there's no excuse for that. None at all. Now, this guy's going to be facing murder charges. Just like in Daytona, there's a little boy, well, he wasn't little, he's 16 years old. that was crossing 12th Street, and this guy was coming down Ocean Boulevard and picked him off. So I don't know how the hell that happened, but there's video of that at the traffic light. Then the stupid moron left his bike laying in the highway and took off running. They caught him, I think, down at the inlet. And 57-year-old guy from New York hit, and this kid, I shouldn't say this, but he's probably going to pass away. He already lost his leg. He's got a bunch of aneurysms inside of his brain, and they had to open up and do a surgery there. He's got a lot of internal bleeding. Last I heard, which I haven't looked the last 2 days, he was still alive in the hospital. We pray that he does survive, but I mean, he was in the sports in high school and stuff, had a big future. If he does get to come home, he's never going to be the same after some drunk, stupid biker. Because you really got to think about this when you're riding a bike and you're drinking. All right, we're plugging our phone in here to get the charger going. The Tam got us an extension cord. Should be up here in a minute. Extension cord. Got it plugged in. Got to get my L universal charger that's a backup if all else fails. Plug that guy in there. Lay that up here on the table. So don't fall off. Take the phone down on the counter and everything. So let's plug it in and see if it starts charging. If it doesn't, we're screwed. Hey, it's charging. So okay, so at least we shouldn't lose the signal. I've got a bright light there behind me. Turn that a little bit. Let me see what the other comment was. Is there a bike show? No. Another thing we're going to be working on. Let me get this turned around and get that stupid light up. Let me scoot over. No? And so, crush my cup. You abused my cup there, lady.
I'm going to abuse you in a minute.
What? Are we a little testy tonight?
Hot and sweaty and sore and achy and all the above.
Welcome to a motorcycle rally. This is more than she's probably rode in the last 15 years. Maybe 20 years.
It's been a while.
We haven't talked much about it. I just kind of told them a little bit about it. They asked if there was still construction on the pig trail, and we said, yeah. At least when we went on, it wasn't very crowded, but I know this weekend is. Tony's in the house.
Hey, Tony.
Yeah. Got some screaming people back here. They must be doing something crazy in the saloon part.
Here's the other straw. I just want the straw.
Can't give you no straw. Give you a wah-wah. Take a drink here.
Very hot, humid. Still hot, humid.
And it's after 7 o'clock at night. Scoot over more. Can't turn the camera that way because there's a stupid light back there shining down.
All right.
So,
At least you can see the main drag.
I don't know if you have your earphones or not, because that's making some noise. That's why I kind of handed over to the side. Greg's in the house. Hey, Greg. How's it going? So we're here at Eureka Springs. We're in the middle of Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue. And there is barbecue around. On Saturday over in Rogers, there's a barbecue contest going on. So they do have a barbecue event. A lot of places have barbecue, so that kind of makes it up. Not as much barbecue as you think. There's some blues bands here and there. Not as many as you think for a Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue thing. But
Maybe back in the day.
we're going to try to help this rally get better. Well, Jeff wants us to get involved, and he says he's got a lot of ties right here in the city of Eureka. We're going to try to get a hold of some people, try to explain to them what we do, and try to help them make this a great rally. Yeah, we're not going to charge them. No. I had an aneurysm.
A blood vessel broke.
They
said it's like a bruise. They said you can get it from sneezing, from lifting something, from you read the wrong way. And they said it's just like getting a bruise on your arm and your leg. You know how all of a sudden you wake up, you got a big old bruise on your leg, and you have no idea where it came from? It's kind of how that is. And they said, well, with this, how you get a bruise, your skin's over the top of it, so it's just purple and green and all those funky colors. Your eye just has a clear coating over it, so when that blood vessel breaks, all you see is the blood.
So I could have done anything. I could have lifted something, could turn my head the wrong way. I could have pooped too hard. You know, anything like that a straining could cause it. So let's see what else we got.
You got me.
Yeah, you're in. You got to look at your.
So what did you say she's got?
And with a skillet.
don't think I don't know what a skillet.
She does own skillets.
I do. Oh my gosh. I need a swimming pool or something. You're always the best at what you do for rallies. Thank you, Tony. Howdy, all. There's XM Biker. He didn't make it down this time. We saw him last year. Today, XM Biker. So they're talking to each other. So, you tell me this was unscheduled.
Say what?
This was unscheduled.
Yeah.
I still hear talking.
Check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Turn down all the way.
It's as far as it goes. Now,
That must not be what the thing is.
well,
It doesn't recognize earphones. So she'll get the comments going here in a minute. So we haven't done a whole lot. We've been over to Rogers. You've seen 2 of those videos. We went over to the CatHouse the other day, so you got to kind of see that going on. Today we did riding all day long. We met up with how many subscribers?
So there was Dub, and then there was Vanilla and Brian, and that's Beggar's Wife. They have a YouTube channel. And then Alan and Kathy, Jeff and Steffi, and Debbie and Steven.
So we ended up with 5 bikes. Mostly couples were on, other than our leader.
Yeah.
He grew up here when he was a kid, came back, so he kind of took us around, did some of the riding with us today. Kind of did the lead.
Last year when we tried to ride the pig trail with Jody and his wife. Such as a J2. But anyway, we missed a turn and we ended up going back around and ended up in Fayetteville. Missed the pig trail. So
we got barbecue.
Dub, I said, so you're familiar with the area? Do you want to lead? So he led. But it was the ride down wasn't bad.
I haven't told him about all that.
All right.
So we ended up, where did we go eat at? What was the name of that town?
Oark. O-A-R-K.
Okay, so look that up. This is a special one you're going to hear before the video tomorrow. You're on the 9th. Great place there to eat. It's actually the police officer that did the, Michael, I think is his name. When he did the video the other day, we were talking to him about places. He said, hey, while you're here, you ought to do it. It's about 30 miles off of the pig trail. And we're going to talk about some of the riding in a little bit that we had to go to get there, what we did, how we did, and where we ended up today.
So this is what downtown Eureka looks like. All these old stone, old buildings.
So we're not really
1800s.
downtown. Downtown's up on the hill up there. You'll see that in another video, probably after the rally. We're probably going to do a video tomorrow. We'll have a video for you tomorrow night at this time. And then Saturday, we may do another live. Because Sunday, I don't think we're going to be able to do a live. We're going to be driving. Our daughter's going to pick us up, and we're going to go back. We're going to go to Wichita. So I don't think we're going to do any Sunday stuff unless I have a video already made up and it'll just be posted. But at this moment, I don't think we're going to do a Sunday live. Probably a Saturday. But what we have to do is take the bike. I mean, we went to stay till Monday last year and took the bike on Monday. And but we have to take the bike back on Saturday back to Pig Trail.
I think. Yeah, we love you.
So I thought we left on Sunday. They were open on Sunday. They're not. So we got to end up making a trip over to Rogers, drop the bike back off, come back in the car. And so we'll finish our last hurrah over there and then figure out how we're going to get back down here, downtown on Saturday night, back home, back to the place we're staying.
Fiona and Jack said they would take us anywhere we wanted. They said if we broke down for any reason or wherever we're at, they said we're a phone call away. We'll come get you guys. So that's the people we're seeing.
Did you put sugar in this one already?
Right? Nice.
Go ahead and pour it in there.
Here, let's watch this.
Sugar, sugar, sugar. But it's less than what Sweet Tea's got in it. 90% of the time. I've never added sugar to sweet tea that I've got over the counter.
So Chuck Marks is from Mimosa, Iowa.
Oh, okay. Been there?
So it says I don't have my glasses on. So at first I thought it said Chuck Morris, but it's Chuck Morris. I can see it. Will you all be at a meet and greet at 5 p.m. at Switchback tomorrow? I guess that's what Badger are doing theirs.
I don't know. The bad thing about we've been already driving way too much at night to start with here already. What did we tell you about last night?
We've had a couple really cool adventures.
Yes.
With some subscribers, and they said, "Wow, we see some of your adventures now. And I said, well, good. I said, that's how we roll.
What was I going to look up? Oh, distance to switchback bar.
There's Neil. The property.
Well, it's really not. It's only 20 minutes away, it says, so it's not too bad. I don't know. So we're here from 2 to 3 to do our meet and greet tomorrow. So we'll just have to see how it all goes. Who shows up here? A lot of people.
Be out there chasing adventures.
And
Because I'm assuming he's got a YouTube channel or she. He or she. I always assume it's a guy, and then a few people said I'm a lady. So it's like, Bob will be climbing the wall in a little while. That wall behind it. Oh, you didn't see this. Did I see the wall behind us? It's if anybody's from Missouri, Tennessee, Arkansas,
very rocky.
yes, and that's what's right in front of us. But I figured instead of looking at the rocks, you guys would probably want to see
Look at
the
that.
motorcycles
Cool
down.
building. Well, you really can't see the bikes.
You can't.
We'll have to see if we can hope to spot someplace closer before we end.
So let me get back to this. Rowan says good day, Neil. They say hi. All that sugar.
Good for you.
Yep. Well, there's a meet and greet at 5 at Switchback. Then one at the CatHouse at 6:30, I think. So you go out there and they come here.
No. I think it's Ozark Riders doing it on Saturday night. I don't want to do a meet and greet here on Saturday night. This place is going to be packed at night, Friday and Saturday night. I wouldn't even want to be. We're thinking about coming down on Saturday night. Probably be here. Is the meet and greet on Saturday, or is it on Friday?
There will be a meet and greet at 5 p.m. Switchback and in the CatHouse at 6:30.
Okay, so you're probably talking about that. No, because we're down to a car. So we have to go out to Pig Trail on Saturday to take the bike back. So we're going to end up spending a couple hours out there to kind of wrap up that.
You said tomorrow, so that's Friday, right?
Well, but is one Friday and one Saturday?
No. He said we'll all be at the meet and greet 5 p.m. at Switchback tomorrow. And then he says, well, there's a meet and greet at 5 at the Switchback and then at the CatHouse at 6:30, I think.
I know Ozark Riders having one night. I don't know what night he's doing it. We're probably going to be somewhere around here all day tomorrow. I got to edit a video tomorrow morning that we did today, and that'll be up. And then we've got to, and then that's it. Then we got to be here around noon till about 3. So maybe we'll just stay all day here. I don't know. We don't have any real plans.
That was my plan.
What was your plan?
I was going to get up at the butt crack of dawn and go out to the Grand Canyon.
You got to edit. Not the Grand Canyon, the Erskine Canyon. How far did you figure out that it was?
I don't know. I didn't look it up.
I found a bar, a restaurant,
That's where you have to go to see it. It's called the Clubhouse.
but you have to watch. They got goofy hours. They don't open during the week. They close at 2. On the weekends, they don't open until 4:30. The Cliff, yeah, that's what it's called. The Cliff House in Arkansas. Because I looked at that because I was just kind of trying to figure out what it was. So let me look at the website. That's where I found it at.
Well, the people that we saw yesterday upstairs while you were editing that video, they just came back to me. That was what, 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We left out there at 5.
There's a goofy hours. Monday, Tuesday are closed. Wednesday is 9 a.m. to 3:45. Friday and Saturday, it's 9 to 7:45. But
How far away is it?
I don't find their map. Where? Hour and a half. 3 hours. Not counting being there and looking around. Probably not going to make it. That should have been something we done yesterday. Put on next year's plan. But we may come back. Talk to Jeff about that. We may be back. We may be back.
We could do the Quigley Castle. That's all I took now. If you get the video done in time.
Let's see how it goes. Download it. Mainly it's just all riding tomorrow. We got to do some talking over the video or during the video. We got some things to talk about, the big trail, and
They said they can't hear me.
can't hear what?
They They said I need a mic. Do I need to just talk louder?
You need to be closer, probably.
Well,
You are now. I can't sit back like this and talk. Your voice doesn't sound.
I'm hot.
She's hot to trot.
Hey, Bill, how you doing? Amazon.
But you have to wait till when motorcycles go by, you can't talk because it's probably decibels that is cutting you out.
So, how did your operation went well, Rowan? Are you going to get the other one done? You said. Now, was that cataracts or glaucoma, or I don't know what he had done? Gotcha. Makes sense. I may be mistaken on the schedule. I'm on it. I should check it. There you go. Well, you come here and then go there because we're going to do one earlier tomorrow here. And if not, maybe if they come at 6:30, we'll still be here.
Could be. I didn't know when I was going to plan my meet and greet. I probably should have done it for Saturday afternoon, but we were afraid we might be running all over the place on Saturdays. That's why I kind of made it Friday. I didn't want to do it in the morning in case people are coming in on Friday. That hopefully most of them would be here by noon, because if you're not, why would you come for one day? So I'm assuming, because we have a couple other subscribers that I've already seen this morning that chatted and said, we're coming in tomorrow. Who did I say was coming? The young man from Texas. Can't think of his name.
Ken Copeland.
Yeah, Ken. Ken's coming in town. We haven't seen him in a couple of years.
Yep. Last time we saw him was up when we went to
Lake of the Ozarks. Yep. And so I haven't seen him in a long time. He's a subscriber. So he's going to be coming down. Let's see if he got a different bike or he's still riding the same bike. I think he's got a stock here. If not. Somebody said they seen him at a gas station the other morning. He's out here with it. He's got his campground now that he's doing. There's no events or nothing going on there, but he's got a lot of stuff set up. We seen a trailer yesterday go in there with like a 40-footer. I don't know where the hell they're going to put that at. I didn't think he had any spots that big. And then he's got a bunch of CPs he's renting out. And so we were going to stop by, but we've just been busy, and I haven't seen him out walking around. So we'll try to see him before the rally's over. He's probably not going to be, I'm thinking he may not be in a lot of the nightlife, but he could. Maybe he'll take a bunch of people from Campground and they'll go someplace, but maybe they'll just have a party there. Just the people are staying there. I don't know.
Haven't really heard.
Somebody can reach out to Adam or check out his Facebook page, see what he's got talking about his campground. We've seen some of his employees here. Or I did. You didn't get to see her.
No, I didn't get to see her. But I can text her and ask her where she's at. I got her number. It's cataract.
But she wasn't here for Adam.
Oh, she was? She was here?
Yeah. Here to have a damn good time, she said.
There you
How you
go.
going to work?
I have to get cataracts. I have to get contact with Kathmandu. Yes, can't hurry because their cabins are going fast. So if you haven't done something yet, I hope they still have some left. I thought you'd already ironed all that out. Totally cool. I just near missed y'all 5 times trying to actually see that. All right, that sounds good. Well, we'll try. Send us your contact information. There you go. Email us your phone number, and then we'll switch phone numbers, and then
You can
it's a
text.
little easier to try to pin us down with our phone numbers.
I have done a really bad job. Well, a lot of times there's no internet at all. So, but I've been doing a really bad job telling people where we're at. It's just, there's so much stuff going on. It's just, sometimes I think about Facebook. Sometimes I don't think about it all. A couple things I did put on Facebook and on YouTube here in a post. But it's not, we're not like a lot of these other YouTubers that are doing a lot of other things, having fun and all that. And they're not. Here we're trying to get all the stuff covered that we have. We have new sponsors and stuff. So it looks like all of our sponsors have come through. So next year looks pretty good. We were trying to work out by Oktoberfest, but I don't think it's going to happen now. We were offered a place to stay and last week, and I thought, we're not going. And then there's some things we need to do with our sponsors, and I need to get them done before next year so I can have it all done during the winter, because we had that hard drive crash. I lost a lot of footage from Sturgis, and his voice is gone. So we'll see him Saturday. He's got a voice. I'll be good. But we were going to buy my airline tickets today. I found them for round trip would cost us right about $1,000 to fly in, fly out. We thought we had a place to stay. We weren't going to rent a motorcycle. We were just going to get a rental car, because most of the stuff we needed to do was at Teddy Morris's. They got a parking lot there. That's really where all we need to really go to. And we would have been close to Main Street. We could hang out on Main Street the rest of the time. Wasn't going to doing a lot of stuff. I'd go to Willie's Chopper Time Shop, but I mean, I got parked car back there in the back. But we weren't even going to try to get a motorcycle. Just kind of a get in, get out. We're going to get there the Tuesday before, get out the Tuesday after the rally. We have another person we have to talk to after the rally about some stuff going on for next year. We got a lot of things in the burners. But like I say, most of our sponsors have come forward. And so we've got pretty much everything set up for next year. All the basic rallies we've already been to. Those are all etched out, and we should have enough money to pay for all that. Still working on motorcycles, and we have two things there. One where I'm talking to somebody in Daytona, and the other one is having haul my bike out, and we just ride my bike. So trying to get all that straightened out. That's good. We have two more sponsors we're talking to because we thought the one was going to come through, and they did. And they had a problem. I think that somebody got sick or something. Somebody died in their family or something.
No, they got bit by a spider.
Oh.
Got really
Yeah. And so that's why they weren't cutting back to us. They weren't ghosting us or anything like that. It's just they had
sure, 'cause they're usually
very good about getting us. So they're all taken care of. The check should be in the mail by the time we get home.
Get an illness in the family,
And
so they're good.
put that in the account, and then we'll be all ready for that. And so that's pretty good. Still got to get all the corporate stuff done for the 501c so we can get the bike builds going. So we're hoping by January, maybe that'll get all ironed out. I'm even thinking maybe even just trying Arizona too. I'm thinking if we've got our, I'll have to look and see. We do have a residency there in Arizona. We just don't pay our taxes in Arizona. So I don't know what the stipulation is. Have to look and see.
Joseph, how you doing? Robin Tam. Hi from Joe Bite. Johnny Crow. Oh, and Mark. Hey, Joe, how you doing?
We'll give you just a little bit of a highlight. If you guys didn't watch the other day, we talked about Ocean City. This year I was very pleased. Actually, this is 2 rallies now. We have changed what we do. And this one didn't come out as good as it did. Because I spent too much time riding today, so we didn't get it done.
But that's where you took the bike out from, right?
Waiting for all the bikes to get by. All right. So what we've done different this time is that a lot of you might have seen in the videos, we had some of our subscribers there. Emory HVAC actually helps us get there. He lets us stay in his condo and lets us ride his personal bike and helps us out. That's how we go to Ocean City. Otherwise, we made like $350 so far off of it. Not saying what the next couple videos I had, how they'll build up to, but I mean, that didn't pay for anything. And so he took care of us. So he wanted, last year, he parties all night, goes to bed about 4. We're up, gone, come back, we're in bed. We never got to see him hardly at all last year. So this year, he wanted to do some stuff with us. He was going to take us out and show the horses. And he did that. Well, you also seen in the video, Ryder X. He actually comes down by himself. He didn't have anybody this year. His wife didn't come, and his uncle didn't come. And so he was kind of by himself, so he kind of hung around with us. And he was pretty much whatever we wanted to do, he just wanted to hang along, which is great. It's kind of like my buddy Art always was. No complaints. People were talking about if you have people that are just too much.
Get a bug? Get a drink.
So my buddy Art was always good about that. So we were actually talking about, people were asking us, not that we brought this up, do you ever have those people that just chase you around and don't leave you alone? They want to be with you the whole time because you're YouTubers, TV stars, or whatever they consider us to be, which are just ordinary people. And we're like, no, we have never, ever. And my policy has always been, I've met a lot of you, thousands of you. And I always say, no matter what, 99% of you, we have no idea really anything about you. We know what we see on here, but other than that, we don't know what you do in your personal life. We don't know anything really about you. So when I meet you, we meet you. My philosophy is, even if you were the worst person in the world, I'd be more than happy to be polite to you and talk to you for 5 or 10 minutes. So in this case, I really don't know anything about you. So it's not a problem.
We know some of you a lot better.
Yeah, some we do know more. But I mean, we've never had a knock on the door. I've got a lot of YouTube friends that have been stalked and everything else. We have never had that. I don't want to tell you. So we don't have any trouble. We love meeting people. That's part of what we do. Because if it wasn't for a lot of you coming up and saying, like in Sturgis, man, I watched a couple of your videos and man, you gave me so much help. And last year or whatever year, met a couple this weekend already that they watched Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue last year and they weren't going to come. And now they decided to come. We had one in Ocean City that did that.
They used to go to a different rally and they ended up watching the videos for Ocean City and said, oh, let's do that rally instead. Let's try that one.
So it ends up being that's what keeps me going in the off times is when people give me that compliment that we help them. So that's one of the big things that we love to do is help people have a greater rally experience.
I'm sure you will, Ro.
So that's number one. So that's the first thing why we do what we do. Second thing that I do is the connections that we make with businesses, with bike builders, with whoever, the director of the flat track. We have thousands of people that we have contacts with. She's got phone numbers on her phone that if I want to do something, usually we only have to call about 2 people before they make this happen. And that is priceless to me because when I used to have my first business, we knew everybody in town. So I never had trouble getting anything ever done. And then we moved to another town and I knew nobody. We moved to California. That's what's that way.
Yeah, because they've been in Washington. Everybody.
I'm sorry. So we are irrelevant to this community. We've never been to Eureka Springs except for coming for Bike Week, Bike Fest, whatever you want to call it. But we've lived many years in Missouri, which we live just on the other side of Lake of the Ozarks. We've been all over the Ozarks. One day we might have drove through this town, which we may not have realized we did.
I think when we rented that car, when the kids were little, went to Branson, rented that old-time car, I think we came.
Very possible. So we spent a lot of time in the Ozarks. So one of the rides, when we were riding on it, I think she might have said it on one of the videos, that it reminds her of home. This is different than a lot of other parts of the United States. Sturgis, for instance, has a lot of pine trees. Probably more pine trees than anything else. Here, we have more oak trees than we do anything else. Then there are some pines and stuff like that mixed in there, but more oak trees. That's a hardwood base. Great for burning in fires. We used to come to the Ozarks and get our wood when we used to have our wood burners and stuff. When I had my shop and stuff, we used to come down here and get wood. And so we are familiar with the areas here. So not that we're going to buy any property here, we're going to live here, we're going to move here. None of that's going to happen. Because like one of the reasons we moved is just right while we're sitting here now.
It's muggy and buggy.
So we're sweating, and it's probably not that hot.
70 something like that. 86.
Well, let me make sure it's not at home.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's 84 here right now.
Well,
Feels like 88.
Almost 90, and it's 7:30 at night.
So the dew point is the killer. Anything that's over 60, the dew point is uncomfortable. It's 69 is the dew point.
Well, the other day was in here. Where were we at? Oh, it must have been in Ocean City. And it was only 73. But the humidity was like 89. And I think the dew point was 74 or something. Horrible. You see, I'm all sweaty. It gets dark.
Got our phones for lights. We got a light over here kind of shining on us. So let me tell you a little bit. Oh, you're blinding me now. We don't need a light. Where's your phone now? Neil's on. You got your phone messed up. So we're very pleased with Ocean City. Emory HVAC already invited us back for next year. Probably will. He kind of wants to take us up to, they have a big ferry That's not a ferry that flies around, but a ferry boat. That it's a real long barge that takes you up to New Jersey. And if you didn't take the ferry, it's like a 4 or 5 hour drive to go around.
Or it's an hour ride on the ferry to go.
So he'd like to take us. So during bike week, that ferry is all cars. I mean, all motorcycles. And he'd like to take us up there to take us to New Jersey area, do a little riding around, and come back. And I'm okay with that. Never did a lot of that. Never rode that. We've had our bikes on ferries like that across the water, but nothing that big. So it'd be neat to do. And this year, what made this a little different was, one, we kind of hung around with subscribers the whole time. They did what we wanted to do. They went to the vendors when we were there. We filmed the vendors. Nightmare HVAC didn't go to all the places we did, but Ryder X did. He pretty much was with us at the first day at the vendors. He wasn't because he hadn't got there yet. And then he came by the next day. Then we went out and seen the ones out at Purdue, the stadium. He went with us there. Went to the dealership with us. Got his bike washed by the bikini girls. And most of the rest of the time, he was pretty much with us. He didn't stay where we were at. He was a couple buildings. He was another community down. But he came to Secrets with us. Went down to Wild Bill. He came there. So it actually worked out really well. And then we had other people with us, which was a little different from what we do all the time. So this rally has been similar to that. We've had 2 couples that have been with us a lot of time. We just seen them the very first day when we were at the dealership here in Eureka Springs.
Not too down the road from where
Two of them are staying in Motel 8.
And so they followed us all the way in. And when we got to the CatHouse, they were coming here too. They got off the bike and they're like, "I'm in town." So they said they were meeting another couple here. So I didn't say anything. And so then when we came in and sat down, I said, "Well, I would offer you to eat with us, but I said, are you waiting for somebody else?" They're like, "No, come over here. They'll freak out when you take out."
They're friends with you.
And their friends get there. So anyway, so we hung out with them that night, and then they went to eat. You want to tell them about where they ate?
Yeah. So last time we were here, they got a place called Beaver something, Angry Beaver, Rowdy Beaver, whatever. Should be the Angry Beaver. Well, we had really bad last time we were here. Normally, I don't call somebody out if it's just got bad service. We just don't talk about it at all. Well, this was exceptionally bad because we had we got there. It wasn't that late. I think it was about 7 or 8 o'clock. And it must have been before 8 because I don't know. But we went there. It was more in the evening. We'd stop by there and thought, let's just go ahead and have something to eat. It might have been daylight still. I don't remember. But it wasn't packed. But there was people there. And so they sat us. We waited. They sat us down, gave us some menus, and they disappeared. Well, then we had a couple other people sat out
Around us.
and they ordered. And we kind of said, "Hey, we're here." "Oh, yeah, we'll get with you in a minute." These people already got their food.
They ordered, they ate, they paid, and they left before we even got drinks.
And so that started. Then the food was just crap. It was just couldn't hardly eat it. Well, I'm one of these people that don't complain because we worked at restaurants. You never send food back. Believe me. I worked in a Catholic organization that had a restaurant, and they threw steaks on the floor and all kinds of stupid stuff when stuff came back. So in a place like that, we don't ever send anything back. We just don't come back. So we went outside and we kind of let everybody know. So this couple came and they were going to go there the first night they were here. And one of them said, no, Bob said, "Don't go here. We're not eating here." And so they didn't. So when they were sitting here with us the other night, on Wednesday, everything in this town closed up at 8 o'clock because ain't nothing going on.
So it's like 7:30, and they're like, "We're hungry."
They didn't want to eat here.
They came to have a couple drinks, get an appetizer, and then they were going to go somewhere else and eat. So that was the only place that was open, and they were kind of getting aggravated. And I
So then they finally decided,
try it. I mean, maybe it's paid.
maybe they got new owners, maybe they got new staff, new manager, new food, whatever. So then we seen them the next day, and the service was okay, but the food was just awful.
She ordered like a stuffed baked potato with all the stuff in it. So she gets it, and I guess all the stuff was on the side, so she was trying to cut it, and she couldn't
Wasn't
cut
even
it.
cooked.
They didn't cook it.
Raw potato.
Raw potato. So she says, "I
Send it
can't eat
back.
this." So she sent it back. So then she ordered something else. I don't remember what it was. And the meat part wasn't good. The potatoes were okay.
Well, they said she got a pulled pork to put in it, and there was more fat in the meat than there was meat. So they had to pull all that out of it. She didn't want to eat these big old chunks of fat this big. And so she wasn't happy with that. And I forget what the other ones had said.
All of them. Said just what the other guy got chicken fried steak, and he said
it was just awful.
Cold and hard, and he said everything was cold. Nothing was warm. He said it looked. So, anyway.
So very bad experience again. So we hear they got a pretty good bar over there. I probably wouldn't eat the food. That's just our opinion. We're not bad mouthing them. We just told you what our experience was, and we told you what another subscriber, 6 other people.
Judy, that's hearsay.
That's right. That's right.
Not admissible in court.
That's right. So we're just, well, they said it on our camera somewhere along the line. Maybe today's video they said it when we were eating lunch today. So I don't know. Yeah. I'll be back.
I'm not quite as warm as I was.
Look around and see if there's a table or something. Get closer. We won't have a plug. See what the phone's doing here. Let me check my charging system here. Nope, we probably can't leave. It's only at 38% now. Said it was charging. I don't know how long I'm going to make a video tonight. See how this all works out. So let me tell you a little bit. We're not going to tell you all about what we did today. So we went on this ride today. Well, we'll talk about last night. So last night, if you've watched the video last year, some of them subscribers that we've been seeing off and on, and some other people that we met, subscribers that we have, we heard us talk about Crescent Inn. It's got the pizza upstairs. You got a great view. Oh, it was pretty neat. They're off in the distance is a statue of Jesus, and we had a full moon last night, and it looked like he was holding it. So she got a picture of it. Maybe we'll put it up on the video tomorrow if I remember. So it was kind of neat. She went out and did it and turned out really cool. And so we went up there to eat there. Well, it's already late. It's already after we were out at Rogers and things didn't go real good. It's not good, bad. Just we didn't get back before it got dark. We wanted to go up there when it was still light. It was probably the sunset last night, I think around 7:15. It was like 7:30. So I was able to get a little bit of video. That's going to be in the video tomorrow too. See, I didn't film the pizza. Sorry. I remember last year. I'll put a link up there for that when you look at it next year or tomorrow, if I remember. And so pizza's really good, very cheesy. So we split it with one of our subscribers, and I said, "You only eat half. It's gigantic." And so when we got all done, it's dark. So what she said is 2 of the subscribers, I'm bad with names, 2 of our subscribers are staying probably a mile from where we're staying out here in the backwoods. And the other one's staying in a Motel 8. So one said, I got GPS on my phone. I'll leave to get you back. And I'm like, okay. So meanwhile, I kind of put Motel 8 in my phone, on the bike, on the Harley. So I hit enter. We started up. We're following them. As soon as we get down to the end of the driveway, it told me to turn left. He turned right. So we turned right. What he did was put in where we're all staying at, him and us, which is back in the woods. So it's back farther anyway. So we go down, weaving through these back roads. If you ever come to Eureka Springs during the day, you just need to ride around in these neighborhoods. There's switchbacks, everything else in these neighborhoods. And just really cool old houses. It's just cool. So we're going back there, and it's dark. It's pitch black. It's like 9:30. So it's dark, full moon. So we're driving. Once again, he makes a left where it said I was supposed to make a right. So once again, I don't know what his GPS is saying. So we're just going. So we're riding for quite a while. We probably rode now about 20 minutes. We're only like 8-10 minutes outside of town here. If we would have just came here. And because we got real close here. We got to the main, because the real downtown is up here on this hill behind us. You got to go down and come around. And we got to that area, but then when I made the right, it didn't bring us up here, which I don't know. So that was after the fact. So we're riding through all that back road, making all these turns. Finally, he gets to this road, which tells on my GPS, turn right too. He turns right, and it's a gravel road, and it's uphill. So I'm like, so I pull up alongside. The other guy that was in front, he kind of passed it up a little bit. And I'm like, mine says stay on the gravel road. I'm okay with driving on the gravel. And he's like, well, would you want to lead? And I'm like, I'm okay with that. I do not like to turn around and go back the way we came. That just drives me crazy. I always go forward. Unless the road's dead end. And so we did. We probably rode 10 miles on a gravel road that was mostly uphill. and it had must have been big trucks coming. It was only 1-lane road. Coming down this road must have been a lot of big trucks, and you know how the road gets ripply effects. There was bumps in the road that were probably, I'm not even going to be able to show it. Talking about the bumps in the road last night.
Oh, yeah.
And gigantic. So, I'm doing everything, and the gravel's all loose. So I'm doing everything to keep the bike up.
And
So,
so was everybody else.
yeah. So we're going along. I'm in first, second. That's about as far as you can get going, is in about second gear going up this hill. So we finally get out and we get back. Well, we did have our moonlight ride at night.
I've always wanted to go on one. I thought that'd be cool, and he'd probably never go on one. So, well,
So between the trees, every now and then, the moon was shining down on us.
full moon. It was gorgeous.
Big here. I told him about Jesus holding the moon.
Yep. I got
So maybe if I remember, we'll put it on the video
All
tomorrow.
right.
Jesus was holding the moon. And it was kind of cool. And so just another cool place to go. Everybody was there, was just overly whelmed with the hotel. It was made in, what did I say, 1836? Is that what I said?
18 something, long time ago, 1869.
Yeah, I don't know. I took a picture of it. I'll be able to show it on the video. I mean, it's just the coolest little thing. You can actually stay there, too. So that's what's kind of cool about it, too.
Supposedly they say it's haunted.
Everything old's haunted.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of these places down here, they're saying it's haunted too.
So that was our adventure, which I gave the guys a hard time today, and I said, tomorrow I want to go on that tomorrow morning and ride where the hell we were at.
Where we were.
They said everything but the rock road.
Yeah, the
And,
dirt road.
So we came out right at the Motel 8,
Yeah.
coming out of the 62. So we ended up getting on asphalt, paved road once we got out of the rocks. So a little bit about today. So today we do Pig Trail, and we got 5 bikes, counting ours, in this procession today. So we leave from the dealership
There's
here
11 people.
in Eureka Springs. We leave from there, head on out, get right there on the 23, and head down to 23. Well, I didn't really realize till this year, the Big Trail really is only a couple miles long. That whole ride down to 23 is not the Big Trail. There's actually a sign in the weeds that says, this is the Big Trail ride. And it's really, I don't know, this 5 miles would be a miracle. It wasn't very long. I didn't gauge it. And took a picture of the sign, and we'll show you where that's at, and we'll show you the ride. And it is kind of good for that little bit of the ride. It was good. What we ended up doing was we ended up going down to the little general store that's on the Big Trail. Looked around, a couple people bought some shirts. I thought they had the ones like Iron Mountain, said how many curves there was and all that kind of stuff. It just tells you it's the crookedest road in the world.
We don't have curvy roads out here. They're curvy roads.
And we're going to talk, it's going to be one of my thumbnails. And, but
Yeah.
what we ended up doing is go to this Euerka, O-A-K. It's like O, but with O in front of it.
It's like Ozark without a Z.
Yeah.
It's O-A-R-K.
There's
like
nothing in this
O-A-R.
town but this little general store. And afterwards, it turns into rocks. Well, they had really good hamburgers. They were well known for pie. Pie was pretty good. But it's hard. They make homemade fries, and the hamburgers are really big. Even you'll see it. The kid's hamburger was like a regular size hamburger anywhere else. So it was really good, very filling. No beer. That's what a couple of the guys said. They didn't have any beer here.
We didn't know that.
Yeah, police officer just told us it's a great place for pie and for. It was packed. A lot of people.
That's what I got the guy on camera. I said, so where are we at? What are you famous for? And he's like, we're at Ozarks General Store, and we're famous for burgers, fries, and pies. That's their claim to fame.
So we got them on. You'll get to see the owner there. And they said it's been like the same family since
It was.
Kingdom Come.
Somebody said either one, it was full of fat, that's why it tasted so good, or it was just really good. It was like sirloin. They made their hamburger, but it was very reasonable.
I
think
think
his hamburger and fries was $11, and the kid's meal was.
So we got a lot of people making a lot of noise. You gotta wait for that to go by. Those fine guys gotta looking for I guess they're looking for the loud concert for playing your stereo. All right, now you can.
So I think the hamburger and fries was like $11, and the kid's burger and fries was $9. So I didn't think that was horrible because it was still a big hamburger. And then I don't know how much the pies were, but all together it was like $35.
Okay.
So I mean that's pretty much what we pay when we go out. Usually right around
We had a place
40
out in the middle of nowhere, and there was probably several hundred people there while we were there at 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Two Wheels was out there in the back.
I didn't see her.
That's what Brian said. Somebody told me. It must have been
I set up the picnic here for a long time.
I
Talked
don't
to
know.
the guy.
He said it was the very where you were sitting, all the way in the back. On
Well, somebody yelled at me once, walked by and said hi to me, but it wasn't her. I didn't see her. I know she's supposed to be here. I think she's got a meet and greet Saturday, over at Heckle and Jekyll. Never heard of this company, but they make exhaust, I
But
guess,
I've seen them the last couple rounds.
lately.
Yeah. So I don't know. if
Don't know,
they're-
don't know, just not, don't need to know more than what I need to know. So, yeah, I didn't see her. We haven't really seen, we've seen some YouTubers, but we haven't seen a lot of YouTubers. But what we did is, which I don't know if I'll say this on the video tomorrow. One of the things I say is this has the second best riding compared to Sturgis. I may be wrong. It may be, just maybe, the best riding in the world here. We've only gone, today we rode on a road that had 10 switchbacks, at least, I don't know, I didn't count them. 5 to 10 switchbacks in a row. It was just unreal. Other than the road, a little bit, it wasn't as smooth as like Iron Mountain and Hills Highway is, but it wasn't that you bounced off the road or anything. But we were on 2 roads today that made the pig trail look like a straight road. Honestly. And that's just the beginning. I have found so many rides, which we're not going to have time to ride on all these. And these are just 2 weeks. One, the police officer recommended, I think his name was Michael, recommended going there. He said it was just a good ride. It was an excellent ride. We're going to show you this. And then we, on the way back, so we didn't want to go through the construction, we took another road back. And it was 100 times better than the first road. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I said, I'm speechless. And I'm like, when I talked to Jeff here, and I'm like, when I said it to him, he says, I told you, brother, that it is like that out here. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then most of the time you're riding in shadows. The trees are overcoming the oak trees and all that. The elms, they're all covering the road. So you're in the shadows. It's dark. You're going to see a lot on the video. We got a lot of great video on this.
75 to 80% of the ride until we got to the highway was all like that. And of course there were spots where there was some trees, but the freeway comes backwards.
But I mean, just like the ride from here to Rogers, this is a great ride. It's very similar to good rides in Sturgis, not the Iron Mountain or Needles Highway. I mean, there's 2 switchbacks that you have to go on. It's a highway with switchbacks, which is, we almost flipped the trailer the first time we came here. And it's just unreal. And there's so many, like here, we were halfway through Arkansas today. And we're way down there. And
well, it goes all the way to the 40. We went all the way to the 40. So that's a long way.
we rode the 40 away to get back. So, but I mean, it was just, I could not believe the riding. And it wasn't crowded. We did see a few bikes out there, but not like you'd see in Sturgis riding around. Now, this isn't as big.
Wait till you get to Australia for some good riding.
And it's hard to impress me. Because there's rides like, I think if I rode the big trail, not the big trail, but the Tail of the Dragon, I think I'll be very dissatisfied. It's kind of like Laconia.
That's what Mark just asked. He said, I'm guessing you haven't rode much in Tennessee.
We have rode, we've rode in Tennessee, but we have not done, see, there's a lot of, like Laconia. Everybody said how great a riding it was. It was not challenging. It was scenic. Now, the Tail of the Dragon, I'm assuming it's going to be a lot like a road we used to ride in California, which was called Mulholland Drive, where you have about 1,000 crotch rockets doing about 100 miles an hour, passing you in your lane without even telling you they're coming around you. And it's all curvy. No, I don't think there's any switchbacks there, but it's very dangerous to ride. And so I'm thinking when I see we have a road out by us. It's called the rattlesnake. What is it called? Sidewinder. If you go off the road there, you're dead because you fall off the rocks and the cliffs. You're
Jerry says Iron Mountain's better than Tail.
And most people tell me that. And so that's one of the reasons I don't know if I'll ever ride on the Tail of the Dragon.
And I think what Mark might have been talking about too, I think that's where you get up there is a Blue Ridge. And
see a lot of it. It's like Blue Ridge. Now, I don't know. Never rode Blue Ridge. I don't know nothing about it. But it could be a lot like Laconia is. Laconia is you get up on top of these mountains and it's very scenic. Very scenic. We have driven cars. We pulled trailers through the Smoky Mountains and all that. So I know how curvy it is. But to come down a highway that's curvy is not a challenge. What makes it a challenge is the way they make the road. First of all, it's not a highway. It's like actually the favorite road in Sturgis for performance riding is Von Knocker Road, because it's mostly concrete and it's very, very smooth. There's no tar snakes, nothing. And so when you get down there, I didn't notice it till this year, the last time we rode it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, because we slid around a lot with the tar snakes this year in the Sturgis area, which is very dangerous. And there's none here. I've seen no tar snakes anywhere on any of the roads. Because it was hot today.
All right, let's start. Be good. And we wait for those posts. All right, I can't say this. Chirahala, Skyway.
Wait, you hear the noise getting this stuff.
Chirahala, Skyway, and the Foothills Parkway are better than the Dragon.
That's what I was figuring you were talking about, not necessarily.
And so, maybe someday we'll make it there. I don't know.
Well, he also wants to ride Yankee Valley. Everybody says Yankee Valley.
But see, I'm real big into waterfalls, things like that. I like to see.
I was going to ask everybody if they saw that
There's
waterfall.
there's a bunch of them here. Somebody was telling us the other day. I guess when we were talking to Jeff on the phone, he told us that there's some rides you can go on out here, more off-road rides that you can see all the water. There's a bunch of waterfalls and all kinds of stuff out here too. The other thing out here is ticks are really bad in Missouri. Really bad in the
I'm
woods.
glad I wore my helmet because I'm a tick magnet. I think ticks just like jump on.
And so we've dealt with that by living in Missouri and all this Illinois. We've had to deal with it. Since we moved to the West Coast, you don't really see that anymore out there. And so we don't really get to get in the woody area like we're sitting in now. But they just drop out of the trees on you. And but there's
I have to try my best.
so what we're going to try to do here is try to get. So we used to be in Fayetteville. Fayetteville doesn't want the rally ever there again. They don't care anything else. The problem that we're getting here is there's several Democratic groups that have moved in here over the years that make a big thing out of everything. And that's all I'm going to say. You can Google it, you can see it. And if you're riding around here, you can see a lot of it already. They have things up to let you know what they are. So, and it's they make themselves kind of special. I'm special. And they don't like bikers. They have a lot of events out here. They have a Jeep event. They just had a Volkswagen thing. They have all kinds of stuff going on here almost every weekend during the summer. So it's so for them to come in, it's not like Sturgis where they rely most of it on the motorcycle rally. Here, they've got other businesses that are coming in. They've never figured out here, and Rogers has figured out how much money we bring in. And so we want to help educate them and help them plan how to make this a bigger, better, more successful rally. There's 54 hotels in this town right here. Now there's about 4 or 5 closed. And probably been closed for a long time. But there's still 50 that's still here. So we're going to go through when we leave here. We're going to take pictures of all these hotels because we're going to start broadcasting where to go.
They probably didn't hear.
Well, hopefully it didn't because somebody else does it. I'm screwed. So we've got some plans on what we're going to do and try to get this built up and get people answers when people need questions and to help with what to do. Because Rogers can have this. The difference between these two cities are Rogers is a very big town. They have their own giant amphitheater. They have a stadium. It's somebody said but we don't know. Walmart is who sponsors it. I don't know if they own it. This is Walmart's headquarters is Rogers, Arkansas. Yeah. So they're here. And so they have their whole big complex here, their offices, their warehouses, everything. There's businesses all over here. We seen some meat company the other day. There's all these big factories out here, not factories, but warehouses for Oscar Mayer and all these Kellogg's. All these companies are here to deal with Walmart.
And about the ride back from Arkansas when we were behind from Rogers over to here.
Well, we didn't go very far behind the truck. A truck that had chicken guts coming out of the back of the truck. She kept yelling at this guy because there's liquid coming out of the back of his truck.
Oh, it was pink, but it kind of looked like ambergris to me. I don't know.
Coming out of the trailer.
Right behind him. And so we get.
And I'm telling her, just don't worry about it.
So I tried to tell him, and we didn't pass him. So then we come to a stop sign, and I'm like, "Roll down your window." They rolled down. I said, "You got a lot of pink liquid coming out of the back of your truck." It's like, "Oh, we got fresh chickens in the back," and I'm like, "Oh, that's disgusting."
The other guy we were riding with, he says, "I thought it smelled like chickens."
That was gross.
So it is what it is. But so they actually had Tuesday here. They had Alice Cooper and
Rod Zombie.
were here. They had a concert. Had nothing to do with the Bike Fest. So we want to try to see if we can help them maybe schedule something, not necessarily for bikers, but maybe a good band that would cost us ticket money, but that would have nothing to do with the rally. But maybe during that Saturday or Friday night, have a great concert here that you could, if you want to go, you could pay your $150 and get you a nice seat inside if that's what you want. If not, they'll sell their tickets anyway, so they won't care. People like to go to concerts here. So they got a bunch of concerts coming up next month that if we were here, we'd go to. They were pretty good concerts they had coming up here. So the problem with concerts right now, and I keep saying this, and until everybody figures this out, you'll know. They're all complaining like in Ocean City. Why do they have such crappy bands? Why don't they have any big names anymore? The problem is Live Nation is. Thank you. Here, tell everybody who you are. Tell us your first name.
Jeff.
Where you from?
Originally from Kentucky, live in Tennessee currently.
All right. How about you?
This is Brad from Kansas City, Kansas.
One more.
This is Archie, Campbellsville, Kentucky.
There you go. So some subscribers stopping by and saying hi.
Y'all have the absolute best review of bikes.
All right. We thank you. We thank you. We appreciate that. Just going to give you some official stickers.
Thank y'all so much. Y'all
Thank you.
Take care.
All righty.
Thanks for watching. We appreciate it.
Now we got dark. I turned the camera and now we're not so light at all. That may not be in the light. Maybe make it up light. Yeah, there we go. So yep, we're green subscribers. Sounds like some new ones. And so yeah, really great. Where was I at? Oh, Live Nation. So what Live Nation is doing is they're signing artists. Maybe it's like Garth Brooks. Maybe it's like Ted Nugent or whatever. No, it's not Ted Nugent, but a lot of the hot bands going on right now, Live Nation signs the contract with them. So what Live Nation does is, like, let's say they want to go to the Buffalo Chip. Live Nation you would call that band, let's say it's Bob Seger, and says, hey, Bob Seger, we want you to play here. Okay, you got to call Live Nation. So Live Nation says, how many tickets you going to sell? Oh, about 100,000. We want half the tickets price. That's to have our artists. So they make money from the band, and they make money off the tickets. So all the places like the Buffalo Chip, concerts at rallies cannot do that because they're not going to make any money. They're going to lose money. And so that's one of the reasons we're not going to see any, we got lucky to get Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll's a different kind of guy. I think he didn't sign with Live Nation, and I think he just wants to be able to do whatever he feels like doing. He wants to do a county fair, he wants to go sing on the sidewalk, whatever he wants to do, he can do, because it's his show. And that's the way artists should be. But when they sign these contracts, they're guaranteed so much money, even if they don't go out, if they don't book them. So it's a sure bet thing. So that's what's going on with concerts, big concerts. I like tribute bands. I like local bands at rallies. I'm always say the same thing. If I'm going to go see Bob Seger, I'm not going to stand up at the Buffalo Chip for 2.5 hours watching Bob Seger sing and have people revving up their bikes and spilling beer and standing in line for the porta potty and all this crap. I'd rather go sit in a nice theater. The last time we seen Bob Seger, got to sit in a nice chair about 12 rows back. We got to go out and use flushable toilets. We got hot food and cold beer. I don't mind paying even $50 more, but actually we paid less than what we paid at the Buffalo Chip for a concert to see. Yeah. So just to let you know, that's my thinking. And what's happening is our younger generation coming up, riding motorcycles, they want that entertainment. Which here, sure, we didn't do any concerts at all. We didn't see any of them. First time ever. Typically, we don't watch bands anyway, but
We didn't see that Kiss tribute band a few minutes ago.
it's about 30 minutes of it, but I mean, we were there to do a job, build something else, and we just sat there. But my main thing to come to a rally is, one, is riding. Two, is meeting my friends, meeting new friends, meeting, checking out new products that are out and about. Not saying I'd buy anything, but checking it out. And that's what I like to do at a rally. bands is kind of me is like icing on the cake. If I've actually walked by a bar and they've got a great band, hey, let's go in there and let's go for a few minutes. The other day where we were at, oh, it was at Secrets. Was it Secrets? Where were we at that the band was so freaking loud you couldn't your brain rattle? Was it Secrets? It was so freaking loud your brain rattled. And we're at the back of the room. And it's like, I don't need that. So it's
We've seen him. He's really good. Not sick.
yeah.
The only one, probably the only person I haven't really got to see that I'd like to see is Elton John. But
He charges too much. Because last time they was in Vegas, it was $300 AC, and you could end up with the very back seat.
or you could be in the front.
And so she said it's not worth $600 to see Elton John. So I bought her a DVD of the same show. And
Bob MC's team.
there you go. Fill my cup up here.
Up again, peeing all night.
All right, I only got up. I haven't drank anything. I haven't gone to the bathroom but once today, other than this morning when I got up, because it's too hot. I'm sweating.
I
don't have any water in my body. I didn't go to these last 2 gas stations we stopped at. I didn't go in. Don't have to go. I'm sweating too much. I'm dehydrated. So that's a whole nother story. So that's my story about the bands. But like last year, they tried to do a band inside of the auditorium here, and it didn't work out very good. And I knew it wouldn't because we want to be outside. You know, if it's pouring down rain, yeah, I'll go inside and let's do a band. But really, we want to be out on a patio, or we want to be pretty much all venues that have bands are mostly outside. Even if some bars that have a stage, like if you're down at the Broken Spoke in Daytona, it's got a roof over it, but all 3 sides are open. 4 sides are open. So you're just under a cover, but you're still outside. And most of the bars and most of the places, even if you go across the street to the Knuckle, it's still the whole front of the building's completely open and half the back's open. So you're still kind of outside. You're not inside a closed room, sit doors. And that's what they did here. They got an old theater, and they did a rock and roll band here, and it didn't turn out very well for the city. And the problem what they have to do is people need to work together. Church just doesn't do that because there's so many people coming to church, it doesn't matter. But we see it like in Daytona. So many of those bands on Main Street and Broken Spoke and all that, they end up having the same night, the first Saturday, have the best bands. You can't watch them all. So they're just killing each other by putting out those bands on that same night.
Although the Knuckle did try to have their bands earlier because they wanted to have them before the Buffalo Chip did, and then the Iron Horse already had their band scheduled. So they kind of tried to have them in between those two. So if you wanted to see a band at the Knuckle, you could, and then you could go to the Iron Horse or the Buffalo Chip.
Which is a great idea. And so that's just some of the things that we only have one city that actually works together. And that's actually Leesburg. Leesburg, the city of Leesburg, and Gator Harley-Davidson and Windy Acres all work together with their entertainment. Now, they all kind of book the bands that they want. Downtown has the bigger names. Or at Gator, they have more of the...
They have like Big Engine.
Yeah, and they sometimes have what's her name? Jasmine Kane. Sometimes they'll play there too, and then out there at the campground, they just have a variety. But what they do is they all advertise together. So like if you go to any of their websites, you go down at the bottom, and there's a link to go to Gators. There's a link to go to the city. You go on the cities and all that same thing, and they talk about them. So that they should all get together. But out of all the millions of rallies in the world, that's the only one that works together. Now, we tried to get this Bikers app to go out. And when the guy started that, it was a great idea. But really what he was after was selling advertising. So if you sell advertising, you're up on top. If you don't, I don't know if you're lost in the magazine or what. But it doesn't cover. We still do a better job than everybody else giving you all the information going on. Now, here we're not running around all the bands. Really, there's only 2 places that really have bands. Other than here, which I don't know if you ever really announced the bands here, but they have them over at the dealership here in Eureka Springs. They have bands till 8 o'clock every night. They have them over at the dealership till 8 o'clock. And then the city has their big thing. No super name bands, but it's free to get in. There's no charge to see any of these concerts here. It's kind of like Sturgis, where basically, other than the Buffalo Chip, sometimes Full Throttle, but all the other bars are all free to watch bands. And that's kind of the best way to be. So there's some weird things that the city's doing, which we're going to have to investigate and find out what's going on. So we're trying to reach out to them to help them. We're not wanting any money. We're not wanting to get on their staff or anything like that. We don't want to quit what we do. But I think this rally has the three greatest things that goes with it that other rallies don't have. There's no rally on the East Coast that has any good riding. You know, we can talk about the Tail of the Dragon, we can talk about the Skyline Highway and all that. There ain't no rallies around any of those. So not within reason to get there. It's still not close enough to get to them. It's not like you just go in your backyard, it's right here. Like Sturgis. You go 25 miles and you're at pretty much all the great rides. So you want something that's close. You don't want to have to ride, like when you're in Myrtle Beach, you gotta ride, what, 2 or 3 hours to get to the mountains?
Like 200 miles.
To go and do a ride and try to get back the same day? No, I'm not gonna do that. So Sturgis has it, have it here. Galveston doesn't have good riding. Laconia doesn't really have that great a ride, scenic ride. Everybody's got scenic riding. You go down to Daytona and it's scenic going down the beach looking at the sand dunes. But I mean, how much fun is that to do? You know, it's fun to cruise up and down Main Street. It's fun.
When we came back from Jacksonville, we came down along that St. John River. That was scenic. It was pretty.
Yeah, it had a lot of moss hanging down. It had like it was a lake. It wasn't part of the Gulf or anything like that, or a waterway. It was just a water in the middle. And so, but I mean, it was okay. But I mean, it wasn't something that I went, wow, this is great. I just had today, and I did that when I first went to Sturgis. Other than that, I don't. Well, the one we have in Oatman, Arizona, first time I'd seen that, which I rode that ride 17 years in a row going to a bike rally. I rode that same ride every 17 years. I've rode a lot more since then, since we live out that area. But it's a very challenging road. It's not hilly. It's pretty much flat, but it's all jackknives and all this. And it's very dangerous because it's all rocks. You go off the road, you are dead. You're not going to live probably from a crash off the road. But it's very challenging. So it's a lot like Iron Mountain, but it's flat and it's more dangerous. But it's a fun ride.
Barbecue we've ever had, or the best barbecue here? The best barbecue, in my opinion, in the United States that I've ever had is at the Shed on
Mississippi.
in Mississippi, Highway 10 off exit 57. It's right there.
And so we're from the Midwest, so we've had barbecue pretty much all over the United States. We do not like vinegar barbecue sauce. We like sweet barbecue sauce. That's our first step. A lot of people don't. When I make barbecue, well, I don't really do it hardly anymore. But we would baste the meat as you're cooking it with barbecue sauce. Some people don't like to do that. More people want to smoke the meat.
And then just pour the barbecue sauce on it.
That's like ketchup. So we're not real big into that.
And charcoal is better than
Wood. But the charcoal's actually made out of hickory and stuff anyway. But it has that taste. But that's us. Because we grew up in the Midwest and we used charcoal all the time. And that's what we had. We've had some good barbecue. We had good barbecue on the video we showed the other day. That Wilkinson's or whatever it was called. Williams.
Oh.
You didn't like that?
No, I did. I was trying to think of the name of it.
I didn't care because they only had like mashed potatoes.
Right.
They only had but it was in Rogers. Over on Rogers, over where they had the convention center at, where they had vendors last year, they're not having this year. They put all these stupid turnabouts. So a lot of people said they didn't want to do any rally over there again because it's got all those stupid turnabouts, and motorcycle people usually don't care for those stupid things. I don't care for them anyhow. It doesn't save anything. Don't go any faster. Stupid people don't know how to work them. And so that's another story. But there's a lot of cool restaurants over there on that side of the highway. So if you get out there, Google some good restaurants and you can check out. There's walk-ons over there. We've ate a bunch of those over the years. Kind of more like a sports bar type place. There was a couple other cool places that I seen there. But the barbecue place was good. They didn't have a lot of sides. I don't really want mac and cheese. I don't really want
potato salad, coleslaw.
I had mashed potatoes, but I don't eat any. I didn't want mashed potatoes with my sandwich.
My baked potato was like this big.
Yeah, gigantic. And she loved it. It was good. So that was really good. That was barbecue. We had another place we drove by today that we ate at last year over in Rogers. And what was it called?
Liquid Ed's, I think.
Somebody had recommended that. And we went over there and ate there. What I remember, it was pretty good. I don't remember if it was really good, but it was pretty good. Usually if it's really good, we always go back again. We make sure it's on the list.
I don't know where we're going to go ever eat at that chicken place either.
What chicken place?
Family, all you can eat.
Not this trip, probably. Like,
I just said I didn't know if we were going to be able to make it.
I thought maybe when they started talking about it, they wanted to do it. And she was just saying it because she was hungry, I guess.
Yeah.
And it wasn't the best chicken. After we went to that last year, it really was. The chicken wasn't that good. wasn't as good as what we've had at other places. And even Pizza Ranch chicken was better than theirs. But they had all the it's like family style. You got a big bowl of mashed potatoes and corn and all the stuff. And I like that. I like to have a variety. That way I can get what I want. If I don't want it, I can pick it up. And the chicken was good, but it wasn't exceptionally good that we've had. Well, actually, the best chicken we've had so far at the dam.
Oh yeah, in Sturgis. Oh, that was good. It was a roasted chicken. So that Bob MC said he's going to try to make it over here tomorrow, and he wants to know if we're meeting here at 2.
We will be here probably. Yes, we'll be here 2 to 3 for sure. We're probably going to get here and eat lunch first. I'm thinking a little bit after 12 we should be here by. Might be here before noon. I got to get my video edited. She might want to do something. And then we'll be here. We're going to eat lunch here. Eat lunch here, and then we'll be here. That way if people get here early, we're going to kind of get the top floor. I'll talk to Jeff and kind of get that roped off. And we can maybe get a big table up there. If anybody wants to come, they can sit with us and talk and whatever you want to do. We'll just hang around here most of the day Friday. And
actually, the Smoky Mountain bike group's getting bigger and bigger.
And we hear that.
A lot of people are not going to Myrtle Beach in the fall, and are going to that one. So that one might turn out to be a good one. Because Myrtle Beach doesn't want
So the problem we have with other rallies in the United States that we don't currently cover is getting there now. So we're flying all the East Coast stuff next year. That's already down. It's already taken care of. So typically, just like this rally, if they weren't sponsoring me here, we're probably not going to make enough money to even have paid for the airfare for us to get here. Not alone, a place to stay. No, if we had to haul the trailer over here, it'd probably cost me about $700 or $800 both ways, $1,600. Got to get a campground spot here, and all that. Not that I'm complaining, but I mean, it probably costs us at least $2,000 to $3,000 to come here.
Yeah, because here there's not really. There's campgrounds here, but nobody that knows us, and nobody that's probably.
Well, we might be able to get, but one of the another YouTubers over at the farm now, and I'm not going to mix in with other YouTubers that are kind of doing their shout outs at places. I'm not really interested in that. We're looking at now because my truck's getting too many miles on it. We're looking to really only pull trailer to Sturgis now, and that's it. We're not looking to take it because I said if we got to the point where we would do Lake of the Ozarks, we would probably come out for the summer after Sturgis. We would go straight to Illinois, visit the family, then go to Lake of the Ozarks, go to Bikes, Booze, and Barbecue, and then go home. So that's probably what we would do if we started doing Lake of the Ozarks. But Emory HVAC already invited us for next year again. So we still have some unfinished things. Now, what do you want to say?
Nicholas wants to know what rally we're at. He wants to
Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue.
Like it's like trying to just throw it in there and he
BBB.
It's going on.
BBQ. It's in Arkansas. It's actually many years ago. It started in Fayetteville, Arkansas. During the pandemic, the college got very big. One particular political group is more in charge over there, and they adios the motorcycle rally. Said no more.
They said we couldn't have that many people in Fayetteville at one time. It's not going to happen. There's COVID going on. No. And then what did they do?
Both weekends, the weekend before the rally and the weekend after the rally, they had football games there with the hot college and had over 100,000 people.
That was okay, but not a motorcycle rally.
So I said that day, the day when we found that out before we left, I said, F them. They need to bring it to Rogers. Rogers is a really cool town. This is their third year. They're growing. We're going to try to help them. And just like us, we have a lot of different rallies like Sturgis, Leesburg. A lot of different rallies will help other rallies if they have questions and stuff. They're not going to come and train them or anything, but they have to answer questions for them. We want to we probably are the only people that really see rallies from the inside out. Why? Because we're not drinking. We're not partying. We watch a lot of stuff. Just like I always argue the attendance. And nobody, there is no human, well, which I have given them a human way to check it, but they don't want to do that. They no logical way they want to calculate the true count of people, which they could. Every rally could do this. And what all it is scanning everybody's license when they come into the bars. Even if you're eating lunch, we still got to scan you to come in the door. And because in LA, all the big towns, Miami, they have all those scanners. Because that way it tells if it's a fake ID.
And they scanned our ID.
I don't know. But I mean, a lot of places do it. Because what it does is, one, it gives them all the... Well, I'm saying bars do that. So they're a big city, Ocean City. So they do that because it 100% verifies that it's a real ID. No questions asked. So they don't have to worry about underage kids coming in. And so that's one big thing. The other thing is it gives them all that data, your information of your license, all that kind of stuff. And people are like, well, I don't want them to have that. If you got a phone, they already know everything about you anyway. They already know what we're talking about now. Our daughter got caught thinking about something at school, working at school. And when she got home, she never said the product. So a parent came in and brought a bunch of equipment in for sports that they have at the grade school. And she never said nothing about it. The guy just said, here's the stuff I promised you, Kim. And then my daughter turned around and said, thanks, whatever his name was. And that was the end of it.
But she was thinking, wow, I haven't seen this much lacrosse equipment before. She had never said a word. I just thought that.
She gets home.
All the ads on her
social media. She got an email. She's like, is this not crazy? I said nothing. I know I didn't say
nothing. She wears
nothing.
an Apple Watch, so she gets all of her phone calls, all of her texts.
Maybe they're reading your mind now. I don't know. But I mean, people are so scared about giving information out. Everything's public. I can find anything I want to know about you on the internet. And I do it all the time with people. And I get on Facebook and say stupid stuff. I track them down. And then they go, you're stalking me. You're stalking me. You're on social media. You're already stalked by being here. But that's the way it is. If they scanned everybody's license, the best part about it is you can see where people are coming from. You can also see the attendance. Now, not everybody goes to the bar, but if you're going to go listen to music anywhere, you're going to get scanned because they sell beer there. So you got to scan everybody that comes through the property. Buffalo chip everywhere. So you have a really, really close, accurate count of people that come to the rally. Now, you'll have a lot of people, the family people walking up down Main Street, which they don't count because they're really not there at the rally. They're there they're local. They're there wherever. They're not going in the bars. They're not eating there. They're just stupid. They're looking, they're nosy. See what's going on in town. Then go back home. Dad will have a beer on the couch. Kids will eat whatever. Have their high seat drinks. And not a dime spent at the rally, which is fine. That's their choice. But we don't need to count them because they're not really attendees of the rally. So there's a way to do it, but nobody wants to do that because if we really told you the numbers that come here, it sounded like this rally. We're probably going to be 10, 20,000 bikes probably here. That's it. Somebody was arguing with me in Ocean City. And I looked. We get up early in the morning, drive by the hotels. This hotel's got 100 rooms. There's 6 bikes out front. So how many bikers do you think's there? Could be 12 if there's 2 on a bike. Oh, they might have came in a car. Well, they're not a biker then. I'm saying how many bikers came. Just because you put it on your vacation list, drove in your motor home, or we're riding a bike, so we are participating here. We pretty much yeah. So we still have a bike that we're riding, rental bike. So we are involved with what's going on. But that's the people that you want to count to where, like in Daytona, you know, I'm looking 30, maybe 50,000 at the most. Sturgis, we probably had a little around 100,000. And people are like, there's no way. There's way more than that. There's not enough.
Looks like it.
There's not enough places to stay.
If you
Just do your research.
count the bikes, like let's say you're going down Main Street, and just in one block, count all the bikes in that block. And Sturgis is 4 blocks long, their Main Street. And you multiply that times 4, and you'll be shocked of how many
There's
bikes.
10,000 bikes there.
It looks like it.
Lake of the Ozarks, it looks like there's so many bikes we counted them
think
there.
at least 1,000.
It
right?
was, yeah. Well, it's over 1,000. Both situations. Even Lake of the Ozarks is over 1,000, just barely over 1,000. But I mean, it looks like there's 5,000 bikes there. But it just looks like it. And so we look at a lot of that stuff. And that's what, not that I really wanted to do this, where I went out and observed all this stuff, but we see stuff now different. It's like we took the Coke bottle sunglasses off or eyeglasses, and now we see the whole.
Rose-colored glasses.
Yeah, we're now seeing what's really going on. And it's just like when people say the cops are picking on people, they're not. You know, there might be an asshole cop out here that's doing something, you know, trying to make a mark for himself, but that's not all of them. 99% of them are decent people. They don't really want to write you a ticket. And we're happy. We should do a video on that, just talking about the police. We've talked to enough police in most of these cities that we can pretty much tell you how to get out of a ticket. And a lot of it is just the way when the officer walks up. And the first thing out of their mouth always is, you know what you did? Well, if you really don't know, you just say, no, I'm not quite sure what I did. And then he'll tell you. Well, you kind of roll through that stop sign. Then you can say, I guess I need to come to a complete stop. You could agree to that. And some people say that they don't want to agree to nothing because they don't want to, in case they want to go to court and fight it. Well, first of all, if you're down in Daytona and you live in New York, you ain't going to fly back to fight a ticket. You're going to pay and be done with it. And that's just the way it is. And maybe you will. Maybe you got more money than you know what to do with. You want to fight it. But just because you agree with the cop and you sign the ticket, it does not, you're not agreeing to anything. You still have your day in court.
So Rowan says he's hopefully when he comes to Sturgis next year, he'll still be here for Bike to the Park. And Emory wants to meet up with Rowan, but I think we're going to get Rowan over here, and he's not going to want to leave. So, but if you're going to come to this, you'll either can go to like the Ozarks, which is just north of this, or you can go out to Ocean City because that's the weekend before Bike to the Park.
Well, the hardest thing about coming over to America is it's very expensive. Some of the people from other countries come here. I don't know how they afford it.
Look at mine.
No, but I'm just saying what she does too. But I'm just saying to come over here for 3 months, just for us to go on a 3-month vacation, we couldn't do it. It would cost the average, without rally time, the average hotel in the United States is about $150 a night. So if you took that times 30 times 3, that would be just the hotel rooms plus tax. So then you got to get some kind of vehicle to travel with. Because actually with a motorcycle, if you're going to rent a motorcycle and you're going to be here for 3 months, you're better off, which is what we found from other people that come from foreign countries, is to try to find a good bike, a late model bike with low miles on it, and buy it when you come to the States. Fly into that state, wherever it's at. And then when you get all done riding the bike, you take it and trade it in. You trade it in Sturgis or wherever you trade it in. You find a big dealer that will pay top dollar for a bike, because in the long run, even if you lost $10,000, the average price to rent a bike here in the United States, now you get a better deal the longer you do, from Eagle Rider, is anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 a week. And so it gets that's American money. That's very, now I don't know, they do make special deals and they do all kinds of other things, which I'm not, and we do have people that can get better deals on bikes than what that is, but 90% of the people that probably rent bikes from foreign countries probably rent them from Eagle Rider, because they have better, most major cities, they're there. Where like somebody the other day said they rented a bike. You know where they said they rented the bike from? Oh, Las Vegas. Drove it to Sturgis, and what a nightmare this bike was. They rented it from one person. When they went to go get the bike, they told him to go someplace else, and the other guy went out of business. And it was a 5-year-old Harley. They had paid for a 2-year-old or older, 2 years new bike, and they got a 5-year-old bike. A lot of the accessories weren't there that they were promised. And this guy was having just had a big old thing about it. And that's what I told him. I said, I Googled the company because we're close to Las Vegas. I said, I've never heard of this company. Even the one you rented from, I never heard of it. So 90% of the people rent from Eagle Rider. And you can get like Emery HVAC, that's on our channel. You can check with him. You can actually sign up for a mailing list, and they'll give you special discounts throughout the year. And that's what they do when they come to Utah in February.
I think they have a big Black Friday special. You can book, I don't know if it's just in Vegas or if they give you a special discount. No matter where you want to go. So
Now there is check. You could get a tent, and you could tent camp the whole time you're here, and be in places that are. Well, you're not spending no money. You could buy a motorcycle. You could check out what's his name? No, the guy that lives on his motorcycle. Scooter Tramp Scotty. There's a guy who's been traveling for about 30 years on his motorcycle, and he only works when he needs a little bit of cash to move on to the next location. He's the ultimate motorcycle hobo. Well, he's like a guy who rides on the train. Well, but I mean, he's like a hobo because he's kind of like, instead of hopping the trains, he's hopping on his motorcycle. But I mean, I don't know if he's ever really had a real job. We talked to him. He's a great guy. He's got a great thing, but he doesn't really have a pot to pee in for money or anything else. But he'll work someplace just to get. But I mean, he's lived in abandoned homes. He's lived in, but he knows how to stretch his dollar to get the most out of enjoyable time.
So Rowan, what is stirring? You said that twice now, and I don't know what that is. He said him and Emory HVAC would probably get into a lot of trouble with the steering though. STIRI.
Probably an Australian word.
Probably. Yep. Yep. XM Biker was here last year. Where are you all at now? You can all use my camper here. SJS says we could use her camper, but then we'd have to rent a place to.
You're back to renting a place to put it, and that's what costs too. So the idea is we're trying.
Put it his driveway.
It depends on our housing rules and all that HOA. So it would see what's happened with the state campground. It's jumped in prices. So last year's prices were only $1,280. Now they're up to $1,790 for the same time.
That's what.
Well, it still was for this year's rate. We got it for this year. For this year, we stayed there this year in State Park, right? Okay, so we bought it for even whenever you buy, you're still buying it for that. Like right now, we're booking our airline tickets for the rallies next year. Of course, the day before the rally, it'll be $5,000 to fly. We still bought it for that rally. We didn't. You're thinking that we bought it at last year's rate. We really didn't buy it at last year's rate. They were still going, but as they got moved on, they're getting higher and higher as you get closer to the event. And now they decided for the next year, which if we bought it right now, it'd be $1,780. Probably the month before the rally in Myrtle Beach, it'll probably be $2,500. But you still bought it for the price. I know what you're saying, but that's not the way it is. I know what you're saying. You're saying we got it at last year's price for this year. We didn't. Because any campground you call right now, if we would have booked a campground like Cat Me and Do, we would have booked it at this year's rate, right? And that's what they did. But as they go through years, they're going to raise their prices all the time. Everybody does.
So our next event might be Oktoberfest.
I don't think it's going to happen.
No. All
I think by the time she gets back with us and finally gets back with us on a place to stay, the airline tickets are going to be too high, and I'm not going to spend that money. It's all about planning things ahead. We could get airline tickets right now, round trip to Daytona for Bike Week for just a heck over $1,000. And so we'd have to rent a car for a couple $100, and that was all we were looking to spend. We had a place that said we could stay at their property, and so they had offered it to us because we were seeing if when we were trying to find something for Sturgis or for a Daytona Bike Week. We had called them, and this person said, well, our house is empty right now if you want to come down for Oktoberfest. And we're like, well, we're not thinking about that right now. Well, then this weekend I've been kind of kicking around. I said, if we get another sponsor, we've had a lot of people ask us to come to Oktoberfest this year. Normally I don't like to do 3 or 4 day rallies, but we do have the sponsorship money that will pay for majority of us going there. So it's not bad. Even though I had to pay a car, I'm going to make probably $500 off of it. So, but it's not enough to pay for a place to stay. Then we could stay with Camp Easy Ride, but the heat, sleeping in a tent, she don't like sleeping in a tent. Not that she don't like sleeping in a tent. She wants the comfort of a real bed. She wants air conditioning. And we've done tents. She refuses to do any of that anymore.
Once we got rid of our tent, I said.
And nothing wrong with it. That's great that people do that. We're just not. That's one of the reasons we moved. We don't like all this humidity. And that's why we have a trailer. We don't mind that. So we could stay with them, but I just don't want to. I like their venue. I'm all for it. Great for a lot of people, just not for us. We're not tempted. The venue's great for us, but I like to hang out with them.
You wouldn't pull a trailer with bike?
No.
And I couldn't ride a bike that far. Today about killed me. We went 250 miles.
But see, you're still spending the money because even the motorcycle will get better gas mileage. My motorcycle don't get no 40 miles a gallon. You know, we get about 30 or so with it. Then you're going to put a trailer on the back. We might be getting double what the truck would get. Truck gets about 9 miles a gallon. So it costs us $1,000 to get there. So it costs us about $500 probably to pull the motorcycle across the United States. $500 back. We're still spending $1,000 right there. There's airline ticket, $1,000, and we didn't take us 6 days to get there. Got there in 1. Got there in 4 hours. So we want to start building bikes for veterans, and the more that we're home, the more we can get that done. So that's the hope of why we're trying to do the flying in. Not that we want to be flying people and all that, but it's just we spend so much time in Florida and all this which is
We're never going to get to do with bike builds if we don't spend more time at home.
well, that and we can't keep pulling the trailer. We're just about out of money. We spent all of our retirement money for building my shop and for doing this the last 4 years. So we don't have the money. I don't like to harp on money, but the first year we made $20,000, really good. But we spent $50,000 to do it because we had to pay for all the campgrounds, we had to pay for all the gas, everything. So we took that $50,000 out of our retirement money. So we've got probably less than $30,000 left of our retirement money. But we have good retirement money coming in from we can both get Social Security. I got a little bit pension coming in. We do own stuff. The garage is worth 3 times what we owe on it. The house is $150,000 more than the house is worth. I could sell a lot of stuff, and we're not hurting for money. But to go out,
liquid cash,
which is a lot of people say, how do you do what you do? Well, one of the reasons we did this is because we spent a lot of our 401 money that we had saved up. And we had a lot. We had a lot of money saved up. And we spent almost of it. And not regretting it. You can't take it with you. And kids don't need it. Let them do their own thing, just like we did. By the time our parents passed away, we didn't really need the money. Yep. So we were talking about you today. Was your ears ringing?
Yep. Emory tracks on too. So Joe and Ron and Rowan wants to hang out with you guys.
So they're the people who want to ask them questions about being with us all last week. And so that was
how crazy it was.
So we talked about you should have been with us this weekend and see what we did. We took a 20-mile scenic route, yet last night in the moonlight through a rock road through the mountains with 2 other bikers, all with couples on their bikes. Loose rocks. It was just a nightmare. I couldn't film any because it was so dark. I didn't even turn the camera on.
There wasn't no lights because you're out in the middle of nowhere. But yeah, it was crazy. Well, funny because we came from Rogers with another couple, and when we went up to go to the Crescent Inn, it looks like you're going nowhere. Deep into the woods. And they said, well, we've hung out with Bob and Tim before, but they're either going to take us to this restaurant or they're going to take us up here and kill us.
I said, did you not hear the guy playing the banjo on the way up?
So then we got done eating and they left to go somewhere else. And then these other 2 couples we met up there, we went home and GPS took us wherever.
Their GPS. He says, I've got it on my phone.
I said, okay, we'll follow you.
And so we did. So I hurried up and got it put in on my phone. But what I want to do is I wanted to go back into Eureka Springs because it's just around the corner. It's like a mile and a half. And I think he put the GPS in to go back to where we're all staying at. They're back in the back road like where we're at. So when we came down the driveway, it said to turn left and he turned right. So I'm like, okay, maybe his is taking us a different way. Then the next street, same thing. It told us to turn left and he turned right. So I'm like, she's like, are you going to say that? I'm like, no, he's got GPS. It should work. Well, then we get down to this road. We turn up it and it's gravel and it's an uphill. So I pull up alongside of him. And he's like, now what? If we turn around? I'm like, no, I don't turn around. And I said, I'll lead. He says, I'm following you. So he pretty much was in first and second gear all the way up this road.
If we're ever going to hit a deer, it's going to be tonight and on this road.
And if you would have stopped the bike, it would have gone down because it was soft gravel, big gravel. The trucks must have been 1-lane road. Trucks must have came down there like dump trucks or something. And there was ruts. If I'm like this. They were probably a foot high, and they were soft too when you went through them. Yeah. So we made it. Nobody dropped the bike. We did get out, but it was an adventure. I gave him a hard time today because I said,
when we got back, I checked to see how far that Crescent Inn was from where we were staying. 4.9 miles. That took between 12 and 15 minutes to get there. We probably went 20, 25 miles, and it took us probably 35 minutes.
right close to an hour.
It was just crazy.
We had the moonlight. She had her moonlight ride.
I've always wanted to go on a moonlight ride. So it was a big, bright, full moon. The sky was clear. So I got that checked off my bucket list.
So that was our adventure. And today was another adventure, which we already talked about. I'm not going to go through. You have to go back and watch it. We have found 2 roads we rode today that may be the best 2 roads at a motorcycle rally. And we haven't even rode them all yet. And we won't this trip. Got too much to do the next 2 days. So I've already found a bunch of rides, but there's a lot of rides here that it's an all day. Like I found one that's supposed to take you down and you go through where Jesse James and all them used to live. It's a real windy road, but it's a 5.5 hour ride. Well, it's an hour to get to where it starts and an hour to get back. So you're looking at an 8-hour day without even stopping to eat, get gas and all that. But it's a big, it's a big circle that you make and it's all windy. Today we rode on, came down this hill. If there wasn't 6 to 10 jackknives, I didn't ride it. Coming down this hill, switchbacks. It was unreal. I was just, yeah. So I'm thinking too hard. Coming out my ears.
No, there's smoking meat right behind us. So Gene is on, and he's from Bullhead City, Arizona.
There you go.
You're gonna have to hear where. Text us your information. When we get home, we'll go out to dinner with you. How about that, Gene?
You know, October 2nd or 3rd, I think we might stay all night in Vegas one night. Just so I don't have to drive back.
But then we're gonna go to California. And I don't know.
No, but we come home in the middle of the week.
Send us your information, Gene, and we'll let you know.
They come home on Tuesday, so if we stay just Wednesday night, go home Thursday, we're not going back there till probably Sunday. I'm not going all weekend there. I'm not looking to spend weeks there again.
Well, weeks before. All right, where are we at? Where's Gene? Gene.
So yeah, so far everything's going really good. Once again, this is just like Ocean City. It's too short.
That's what somebody else just
This
said.
should be Saturday to Saturday, and we're going to be working with the city here, with Rogers. Not saying that they're going to listen to us, but we're going to try to give them some helping information. Our information is what we always say. We're not here to tell you how to do your business. We're just here to give you some helpful hints that we've seen at other rallies that have been very successful. And, you know, and that's what a lot of people have said. Why don't you start your own rally? I have no interest in starting a rally. We're too old to get anything going like that. But I wouldn't mind helping other people, which we have. We've talked to the Rod at the Buffalo Chip and given him a lot of ideas, and some of them he's used, some of them he doesn't. And I'm okay with that. And you know, somebody say, well, he took your idea and he ended up not using you. And that's fine. I'm okay with that. You know, we've done our careers. We're done. It's all about helping people in what we do here. And so if we can help a business here and they make a bunch of money from us, I'm okay with that.
I'll tell Justin you should try owning a trucking company. We're talking about how much money we put
No,
into
I don't
all
want to own a
that
trucking
stuff. But I mean, he's just saying.
I
he
know.
knows how much
Well, I
money
say
you
everybody,
gotta dump into a business.
I tell everybody should own a business for 30 days. If you own a business for 30 days, you would treat people, everybody in the world would treat everybody a lot better. Customer service is gone. You know, we have a hard time finding people. That's one of the reasons I like Sturgis and I kind of like the Midwest area. Sometimes you get better people there than you get on some of the other rallies we go to. People are, you know, they're snooty or they don't want to talk to you at all. It's like, hey, hello, you're working here. Can you tell me something? No. Well, get the hell out. Then we're out of here. But it's just really sad that customer service is gone in most businesses nowadays.
The place we ate at today was really cool. And that guy kept saying I paid and everything, and he didn't see the camera. And he's like, oh, I didn't even see all that stuff you got there. So I said, oh, here. I said, tell me what you're known for. And he told me and everything. And then I guess the people that was behind us that were with us, they said, oh, they're YouTubers. I was like, oh, you're an influencer? And so I gave him a card. And when we left, I was like, I hope you guys, Bob and Tim, hope you guys had a good time. Thanks, Bob and Tim, for coming. And he said, Bob and Tim. Like, so we gave him a sticker, and he's like, "Oh, we'll put this somewhere in here."
And they got like a 5 billion sticker, so we'll never find
You'll
it.
never find it.
But it was cool. Probably go back there again someday.
Ron says, "No service, no tip."
That's right. That's what it should be.
Still expect it.
And now they even if you're going into carry out, they want you to put a tip on everything now. And it's like, no, we're not tipping you if you didn't serve me. You got a job. If you're not getting paid what you deserve, then you need to go find a real job. Get out of the restaurant business. Go get a real job.
Well, even though, like even McDonald's, you go up and it says, at the end, it says you want to add a tip, and it's like
It's the
so
kiosk.
He's at the kiosk and he's looking at the thing, and I can reach over and push no. We're not going to give a tip when we have to order the food. We have to go pick up the food. We have to bring it back to our table. You're cooking it. I grant you that.
But you're getting paid.
Yes, and I'm paying for the food.
See, the problem with all this is two things that I've always said. I own a mechanical garage. I want to know why I can't pay people $2 an hour and they can just beg for tips too, and expect the public to pay for it, even though you're paying for a good meal. You're paying more than a normal price for a meal that you could have cooked at home cheaper. So they're already making money, but then they got to pay their help less money and expect you to tip them more money so they don't have to pay them money. So that's the first problem that I have in America. And the second thing that we always talk about is tipping is up and above your normal duties is how you get a tip. So her grandpa was really good about it. He used to be, and this is back in the 60s and the 70s, he'd lay 10 $1 bills down at a restaurant for breakfast or something. And when the waitress came up to him, he told him before he even ordered, this is your tip.
But you have to earn it.
But if I have to ask you to fill my coffee, if I have to ask you anything, I'm taking $1 away from every time I have to ask you. And that's actually the best thing you could ever do. Now, the other bad thing that we're finding out, which I already believed this anyway, that this was happening, and people are acting like it's so surprising. But if you leave a tip on your credit card, the people are losing, the most of the restaurant people are losing at least 3 to 5% because that's what it costs the merchant, the vendor, the person that owns the restaurant to use that credit card. It costs money to use a credit card. So some businesses always gave that away. Now we're hearing people are, so if they got $1,000 and they need to take out, $40 out of it for the 4%, then that's just the price of doing business. People think that that's not right. Well, it's a cost for the vendor or cost for the owner of the store or the restaurant. Why shouldn't he take that money out? The tip is money that's up and above what the owner, like we had a DJ business. We charged $100 an hour for additional jobs for the DJs to work late night after I booked them. So what I always told my DJs was, I already made my money on what I booked them on. If I booked them on a 5-hour job, a 3-hour job, whatever I booked them on, that's the money I expect. Anything that you get up and above for the after hours.
Like, let's say they work 2 hours over, then they would get $200. That was their money.
Yeah. So, but the idea I did that because I wanted to make sure that if somebody they had a wedding, they had a great time, and they wanted to go another hour, for 2 people to stay there for $100, they're probably going to stay. Because I didn't know anything about it. I don't know nothing about taxes. I never asked them how much they ever got. None of my business. They should claim it on their own. Not my job. So don't know what they did. But that way they were more likely to stay and make that customer happy with that. And some of them made $400 or $500 because they might do an afternoon wedding. And I'm like, I don't care. I made my money off the original order. That's all I was expecting. I wasn't expecting anything up and above. But the funny thing was, when I used to DJ, I never got tips hardly at all. My workers did. They think if you own a business, you don't deserve tips. But
So Ryder X, we're here. We've hung out with, Randall's inside. Did I tell you that? Randall's from Louisiana.
Did he gonna ride with us?
No, he didn't bring his bike.
Oh.
He's going to come. He drove his car. But he wanted to see, yes. So they're inside. He saw him when I got to see yourself. So Randall from Louisiana's here. He's on sometimes. Alan and Kathy, which they said they usually don't comment. Jeff and Stephanie, they usually don't comment. Steve and Debbie, and he usually comments when he's on sometimes. And then Beggar's Life, which is Brian and Donnell.
So those people we kind of hung around
And
with
then
today.
Dub's here too. Charlie, he was with us in Sturgis. He stayed in our little Bob and Tam compound at up in Deep Lake. So that's who we've been hanging around with, right, Rex? Not you. You're not here. Wish you were.
Missing the party.
I know.
A lot of great riding today.
Pizza Ranch. Check it out. Lady has a tip jar. That's her job.
Yep.
Well, if they come take our plates away, well, they don't really give you refills there.
No.
Like at Golden Corral, they'll
But I
do
mean, they
that.
fill your drink stuff. We leave a few bucks for them. I'm not giving them 10% or 20%. We usually leave maybe 5. If they've been really good, I never had to ask to have my tea filled up. If I still had to ask, I leave them like $2. But I mean, I used to always give, what I used to always do for years was, if I had decent service, I would double the tips. Most times tips are at least 5%. So I usually gave it a tax. So we would double that. So if it's $5 for tax, I give them $10 tip. That's kind of how we did most of the time. If I go in and get a drink or something like that, I usually just leave $1. For about getting a beer or getting a drink or something like that, I always just leave $1. That's just the way I've always done, and I think that's how most people do. Some people give more tips, just depending on what they are. But my son-in-law's like that. He's a big guy. If he goes to a restaurant, he likes 20%. That's what he may give more than that now. But
now it used to be 10, 15, and 20%. But I looked the
now it's
other day.
18.
Now it's like 18, 20, and 25%. Is what I've seen here lately.
Well, my problem with part of this is people say, well, we need that to make money. I haven't worked at a minimum wage job since I was 15 years old. And I don't think I ever will work a minimum wage job. People need to go get a real career, make real money, and you don't have to beg for tips. People that work at restaurants and stuff like that. Now, there are some people that want to be like we met a guy in where we live over in Laughlin, been a waiter for 15 years. He was very excellent waiter, too. We even called him out and told him that. And gave him a decent tip. To where maybe that's what he enjoys doing. 15 years, I guess he does. But most people don't want to be a career, which he probably makes more than minimum wage because he's a good waiter. But most people should go get a real job to where you can make your living. You can pay for your family. You can pay for your kids and all this stuff. To have 2 or 3 minimum wage jobs trying to raise a family, I would have never even thought of getting married on a minimum wage job. That's just common sense.
The majority of his life, he was an auto mechanic, and then when we moved to California, he was a service technician for the gas company.
So I've been in mostly automotive most of my life. I was a service manager. I've owned some businesses. I owned a gas station when I was 18. I had a lot of different things. But most of my life, I've been in the automotive industry until we moved to California. And then now we owned a DJ company. We had this DJ company for 8 years or something, 10 years.
Yeah, about that.
And I did that full time for quite a while. We had 18 systems, and one year we had 286 weddings.
8 systems, 18 employees.
Yeah. So did all that, and it all died after 9/11 because people thought the world was going to end, and I started losing my employees that worked for years for us. So I decided, just gave it up.
95 until 2002.
And we're very successful at what we did. That's how I got into video. We started videotaping weddings. She did decorations. We added more stuff to what we did. Not a lot of bikes here.
So Mark says that they're having thunderstorms and lightning in Joplin. That's not very far away.
There's a lot of rain around us because they're showing it. There's a possibility, I think they said Sunday, maybe a 30% chance. Originally, when we looked a couple weeks ago, it was going to rain Saturday and Sunday here. Now that's kind of been there's like a 15%. There's always a chance of rain anywhere. But you look at that, if it's a 10% chance, it's a 90% chance it's not going to rain. People don't ever look at that.
But watching the news at night, the weather and stuff, that's what they were saying, that the likelihood of it raining now this weekend is slim to none. Because they said, I guess, there's a
Supposed to rain this
high
weekend,
pressure
maybe
from-
Sunday or Monday, and it's going to cool down here in the 70s next week. So it's like summer
It
here.
wasn't this week. It's hot
But it'll be a
here.
little cooler, a bit colder to ride, a little more gear on.
I know.
So
It keeps going on and on. Do the vendors open after dark? I am kind of disappointed about not getting my headlight. Yeah, I don't think they're here either. I think they're only open till 8 too at
6 or
both
7.
locations.
Yeah. Because everybody heads to the bars. So that's kind of how they stay. And most of the vendors, the way they look at it is if we're busy, we're going to stay. If they're not busy, they're locking up and leaving. And, but that's pretty much all rallies are that way. Some rallies we've been to and the people are out there, Panama City, they're out there till midnight because they got so much work to do. But then there's other times it's 5 o'clock and they're 10. The Rick Rack yesterday didn't even open. I don't know what the hell their problem was. And somebody told me they wanted to buy shocks and buy fat tire and all this stuff. And they said they had to leave today. They lost out on all that. That's life. Big city. I don't know why they didn't open. It's been open on Wednesday.
I know. All right. It's 2 hour mark.
Holy Jennifer Jupiter's Batman. We've already done 2 hours.
Yep.
So, battery held up, so we're pretty good at that. So it's pretty exciting.
27%.
Maybe I'll walk around and show you a little bit of what's going on. You can type in anything on your comments.
Well, you want to take this one? Mine's only at 30 now. That one's 27%.
That's got a higher battery, so that's why I thought I'd use that.
All right.
Let's kill it. We sat way too much today.
The bikes. They didn't open on Sunday.
I gotta get my glasses so I can see this and turn around. So there's the wall behind us.
Drop off.
All right, let me go here. Gotta hit settings. Gotta hit camera. Hey, I'm still here. Gotta hit this. Gotta hit back. Back to the future. Hey, look at that. So she can't talk to you. Well, I could use this and you could talk to him. All right, so they said you can't hear Tam, so I guess I'll have the mic on then. I don't know why she can't hear her phone. I cannot tell why you can't hear their phone. So we're going to walk through here. We're going to see what happens. I'm not sure if the sound will stay good in the picture because we're walking. So it's kind of wrapping down here. This isn't Friday night. It's Thursday. So a lot of people have come in. And look, who is that?
There's Bob. Let me stop recording. I thought you guys already done.
No, we've been sitting up here on the patio.
Great. I'm glad you guys are still here.
So we're just doing like a walk around. We're just going to wrap up the video now and we're almost done.
Okay.
So just kind of show everybody what the outside looks like.
Yeah.
And been sitting up there sweating in the corner. So she's up there on that upper deck up there.
Okay, I went back and took a shower.
Oh, I wished I would have. So this is the outside of the cat house. They got all this free parking that's out here in front. All this free parking out front. And then they got over here, you can park for free. And on the weekend, on the weekends, they will have more downtown parking, which will be free for motorcycles. So they have the tents here. The cat house has all their own stuff out here that they're doing. Marie's bandanas. I don't know if Eli's over here. Highway Vixen's been, I think she's running this booth. Oh, there it is. We're wrapping up our live.
Oh, you're on live?
We're wrapping it up. We've been here for 2 hours.
Oh, nice.
Been sitting up in the corner.
Yeah, Jeff told me you were coming.
Yeah.
He said you were here. How's everything going?
Just hot. We went on a long ride today. I might have found 2 roads that are better than Sturgis. I went on a ride today. We just kind of got off on a side road, had 6 switchbacks in a row. That's what I said. Out on the other side of the pig trail.
What number? What road?
103. And I'm like, oh my gosh. we're not going to get around and do all the rides, but I mean, I need to really come out here and spend like a month. There may be better riding here than in Sturgis. It's just unreal. And it's, yeah. Yep. So, well, I said next week it's going to drop down to 70 next week. Well, at least we didn't have any rain. I'd rather have the heat than the rain. Because last year sucked with the rain. Yeah. And just need fans. All righty. She's sitting up there on the top. She's answering comments. So they have two decks. This one and a deck way up there is the second deck that they have. And so we should, we'll probably end up trying to get up there on top. So they have bands back here. This is the band area. They're playing music, so it's copyrighted music. So they're going to have a band in here tonight. And she's waving. And so this is a pretty good place. This is probably one of the partiest bars in Eureka Springs. There's a lot of other bars and places to check out, great places to eat. Like I say, we'll get up there tomorrow, hopefully, and check out actual Main Street, which is way up there on top of the hill. Can't even see it from here. So when I first came here, I thought this was Main Street. We thought this was... Got some fans. So, pretty exciting. So, I don't think I'm going to be able to go inside because I'm afraid it'll probably really break up if we go inside. And so, there's a girl climbing out the window. There's one way to get out. Yeah, they call it a hurricane, if that's what they're doing. The hurricane where they throw water in your face, they take the shot, throw water in your face, and then slap your face. So we'll see. Not supposed to tell you what they're doing.
Yes, ma'am.
Was that a heck of a hurricane or not?
Basically.
So there you go. We'll see if we get edited for that. And so you can stand out on all the bars. There's the inside bar, one of them inside here. You go to. And everybody's coming through. Not a lot of space to get between. And like I say, tomorrow night and Saturday night, it will be packed. And you won't even be able to move. There'll be so many people here. And so it's pretty neat. Like I say, we're going to hang out here. Probably Saturday night, we'll be back out here too. So with all these brick buildings and stuff, that echo really echoes here with that sound. So they got another bar over here on this side. So let's go up here. We'll wrap this up. It's been a long day. And so they got another bar on this side. So they got this one here. Got a dancer pole and all kinds of stuff in it. So you can come in here and check this out. It's supposed to be nice. It's not supposed to be mean to other people. We'll be nice to them. They might be here next year to party with you. Might buy you a drink. You never know. So you can come in here and check out these guys because they'd be glad to drink a beer that you buy them, right? There you go. That's right. Have a good one. And so there you go. We got some new friends if you guys come out. And so we'll kind of wrap this up here in a minute. And, pick up the steps. All right, I'm all done.
Well, it's doing it to me again.
What?
I cannot answer questions. They will not open.
What do you got right there?
I can't answer comments on this. I'm on that. I can only talk. So when Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue, what does somebody else
Maybe we
have?
went off.
Huh?
Maybe we went off. We're still on? Because I don't have it on here either.
Huh.
Check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Can you hear us? Is anybody still out there? For some reason, we cannot see the comments. I don't know what happened.
I got all the comments up.
Yeah, but I can't answer them either.
You never can when you're on a live.
Oh,
I have to do it on a third
oh.
And
Well, then just talk to them.
well, now I don't know what I'm going to answer.
Let me switch the camera back around.
I may have to go down there and look for Steve.
No, it's not in Fayetteville anymore. It's only in Rogers. You're even unplugged.
It never was plugged in. All right, so you can finish talking to them. We're done.
Let me see if I can.
All right. So thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Oh, I got mine up too. I don't know. Too many phones. So we're in. It's not in Fayetteville anymore. It's in Rogers, and then it's also in Eureka Springs, which is where we're at now. And our live is done. So thanks for hanging out with us. If you're coming, we'll be here tomorrow, probably between 12 and 2, maybe 3 o'clock.
2 to 3 is the
2 to 3 is the meet and greet. But we're going to come here for lunch, probably sometime around noon. Thanks for hanging out with us today. We love all you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate every single one of you. Love you all. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Share it with your family and friends. Give us a big thumbs up. Ring that bell for notifications, and we'll see you on the next video.
Bye.
Bye-bye.